Class is in session. College basketball hitting the book show Tuesday, November 18th. Ian Cameron, Connor Mack with you. Under the weather. We got a cough and sore throat that we've been dealing with for the last 24 hours, but we're here. We're battling, and we are ready to talk college basketball for this Tuesday night. Let's just dive right in. Normally I start, but you know what? I just finished the NBA show. Give my voice a little rest. So C-Mac, you start first. What are you liking? Some games that you like here on this big Tuesday board.
Yeah, let's get to it. College basketball, easing my way and been good. I think I've hit like 6 out of the last 7. So it's baby steps for me. Once like we got still action college football days like these. It's like a lot of work. No wonder why you're sick, Vanna. Running.
No sleep. That's why. Lack of sleep.
It got to you. Yeah. Let's get to the big game here. Michigan State Duke as we get to it. I like Michigan State here. I think they're a tougher team. You know, these teams play every year. This is at MSG, correct? So Kentucky is up. Yep, classic here. Kentucky off the loss. They bounced back. It was a huge win against Eastern Illinois. And, of course, they're very athletic. But I like this Michigan State team. Kohler, they have a few guys inside and out. What's his name? Fears, the point guard. Kid's pretty good. We're already watching him early. I heard they were talking about Mateen Cleaves. Like, we'll see about that. But maybe. Who knows? So I think they're a little bit tougher here in this game. I think they're going to slow the game down a bit. Maybe not crazy, but this game stays in the 70s. Ish,
they do play deliberate, Michigan State.
They do. Yep. Definitely. I want the tougher team. So unless Kentucky's going to be red hot shooting the basketball, they've had a little problem watching in that game against Louisville. Just some problems defensively, with the pick and roll and shit like that. But we don't need to go like deep into that on a day like this. But I like Michigan State. I like the points here in this game, and I'll take them plus 4.5 all day long. Better record of late, too, in these games versus Kentucky. Some have gone under as well. Just a few notes that I put down in that game. Let's get to a late one here. Seems like a great bounce back spot, I think, here for the UCLA Bruins after that tough loss. That was very, very good with Arizona. But I don't know. And they're 0-4 ATS. I think Sacramento State, the way they're shooting the basketball, they got a couple of really good guards and players that they have. Jerry, they're shooting 41% from 3. I think they can hang in this game. Now, they have problems defensively, does Sacramento State. And this is usually kind of a beat-down spot, I think, a little bit. But I think it's going to take some time for UCLA a little bit. A lot of high hope from early on in the year, but I wasn't very impressed. Eastern Washington to win. Pepperdine, would they win by 10 or 11 in that game? So
West Georgia stinks, and they didn't even cover that game. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I think this team, that's why I love the shooting of this team with Sac State. So what I do? I love the full game too.
Yeah.
But I try to do with these dogs, like if they can't hang, if they get blown up by 20 in the first, it's just over. So give me the first half. I got a 17.5.
Yeah.
So there are 16.5. Give me a 17.5 that they make enough shots and keep this game close. So Sac State, I'm on them here. First half plus 17.5. That was about it. Do you want to touch on, for me, I have a couple other leans. Do you want to touch on the other big game with Kansas Duke? Obviously, Peterson is out for Kansas. Anything there?
Big loss. And we worry about their offense in that game. First of all, I want to say I'm on those same two sides. I'm on Michigan State as well. I don't trust Kentucky still defensively, from like we saw what happened against Louisville. It was a rough defensive effort, and Louisville can shoot and score. We know that. And they play fast, and that played a role. But still, I don't know if on a neutral court I trust the Wildcats quite yet at the defensive end of the court to be laying it against Michigan State. So I'm with you there, and I'm totally with you on Sacramento State. I just went plus 29 full game, but certainly first half. I mean, 0-4 against the spread. Till that damn UCLA team covers, I have no problem going against them. And to be honest with you, I think Sacramento State's better than some of the teams they're better than West Georgia, and UCLA didn't cover against West Georgia.
I think they're better than Pepperdine, maybe. Depending on, they're right there. I think.
I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. Mick Cronin's team's been overvalued from day one this season. They haven't covered a point spread. Until they do, I'm fading them. It's that simple. So I'm with you there, Sacramento State. I like a couple dogs too. What's BC doing laying 12.5? I like Hampton. Hampton in plus 12.5 there against Boston College. I know they beat Temple last time out, but I worry about them scoring enough to cover numbers like that. Old Dominion's not very good, but I've been fading Xavier every game and cashing, and I'm doing it again. Like, that's where we're at with Xavier. They've been so bad. It's going to take Richard Pitino time. Double-digit favorites. I simply do not trust them flat out. Just like with UCLA. Until I see Xavier cover a point spread, I'm going against them. It's that simple. So give me Old Dominion there, plus 10.5 against Xavier in that game. I'm also on UT Martin. UT Martin's gone on the road.
I know. That was my lean here.
And they beat Bradley. Now,
so I got to be on them here? Yeah.
Florida State's good. Okay. I like the coach, Luke Laux, former Florida State player. They're playing faster. They played one hell of a game in a losing effort against Florida earlier this season. And Miami, they gave it a good go as well. I mean, this is a Florida State team that, they've been competitive. They're off that tough loss. I could see them bouncing back, but bouncing back and covering a number like this against a good Skyhawks team of UT Martin that's cut their teeth on the road against decent competition already. And I'm not talking about covering. I'm talking about winning outright on the road against UNLV and Bradley. So I just think it's too many points. I think that's an over as well. Both teams are going to get up and down the court. So I agree with the over money in that UT Martin game as well there. Another dog for me, the in-state rivalry game. I'm on Georgia Southern plus the points against Georgia Tech. I mean, it's another situation where here's the issue with Georgia Tech. One of their problems this year, they turned the ball over a little bit. Well, guess what Georgia Southern's good at doing? On the fast break, they push pace, and they force turnovers with that press. So from that standpoint, I worry about the concerns and issues ball handling that the Yellow Jackets have had at times here early in the season. So that's a dog I think that could cover that number, 10.5. 161.5 is another game I think could go over the total in that one. Georgia Southern plays at one of the fastest paces in all of the college basketball. So that's one I could see going over. We can't take all dogs. There are a couple favorites I like. I like Yale. I think they win by double digits at home against Rhode Island. I don't think Rhode Island is quite ready for the discipline at both ends of the court that Yale plays with. They're good defensively. They're intelligent, obviously, Ivy League, but they've got more athleticism than you think, and I think Rhode Island could struggle with that on the road and struggle to score as well. So I like Yale, -8 in that game. I like Murray State. Murray State, I've said from day one, I think they're a lot better this year. Murray State, the Racers, I think they could absolutely steamroll potentially Little Rock. Little Rock's going to try to slow it down. They can't score, though. They sometimes really struggle to score, Little Rock, and if they get behind, I don't think they're getting through the back door. Murray State is a good offensive team. They're going to play fast, much faster pace. I've been on a lot of overs with Murray State, but I like the side more in this game. Now, my concern with the over, even though I've been on Murray State overs a ton, I think I've cashed every time, C-Mac, I bet Murray State over the total. Like, their games are flying over, but Little Rock is going to slow it down. They're not good offensively, and it's kind of a pace war. And I'm not convinced Little Rock is going to score a ton against this Murray State team, so I prefer the side laying the points. I'm not as in love with the over tonight in the game involving Murray State.
Let's hit on a couple. Our guy, Justin McKelvey, great to see you, my man. Seen you in a minute. I like it. This UNC Riverside, too. There's 13s even now, 12.5, 13s. I was looking at that game.
They've been a good double-digit dog the few times I've been on them the last year or two.
Riverside, and this isn't Highlanders. Yeah, and this isn't – I think Baptist is better, but this number, and there's a lot of love for them. Moving this line out.
Good Baptist, but Riverside's better, I think, than this number indicates. And I also worry.
I think so too.
Baptist doesn't run up and down the court. They don't run. They play a little bit more deliberate. So there's going to be fewer possessions. I think getting the 12.5 now, it's worth a look.
A few 13s. There's some 13s. Yes, Riverside takes care of the basketball for sure, and hits some big shots. I think they could definitely. There's one over. There's a couple overs I looked at. It should be a lot of points in these early basketball games, but I thought it was just a little bit high. Are you on this over? Princeton, Iona. It just was a tad high for me at 154.5.
Yeah, I didn't.
I thought I could get up.
I leaned over.
Yeah,
with you. I leaned over, but I just thought,
I thought it was high a little bit.
Yeah.
If that was the 150 area, that kind of had a bullseye I had on it, just because I think Princeton's not going to play a ton of defense. We saw Iona in that one game, and are they going to play slower and deliberate here at home? Caught me a little bit too, because that number being a little bit too high. So, yeah, that just a couple more leans that I was on.
I like Montana A&M over. Bucky Ball is in College Station now. Bucky McMillan, of course, the new head coach of Texas A&M from Sanford.
It's going to take some time.
It will, but I think they'll score on Montana here at home in this kind of a spot. Yeah, F. Donahue, you're right.
Damn, Cabana, you're running low here.
I know. We're gonna.
You got something to drink? You got something to drink here?
I do. I've got water here. It's but again, at night it gets a little worse, and I got to do a bet cast, and I'm still going ahead with it for the Ice Guys later. So that'll be
this guy. He's a machine.
Yeah, I'm a machine. You can't keep me down. No, that's a good hire. I like the hire of Gus Argonal, the new head coach of the Riverside. San Bernardino is where he coached before. Nice hire. I heard good things about him. F. Donahue in our chat saying he believes the coach is underrated. Yeah, I heard this. I hear he's a good coach too. It sort of looks that way from where I sit. What else? Kansas Duke. Obviously, it's the big game we should talk about. The second of the doubleheader at Madison Square Garden. So I know Peterson's probably not going to play here for Kansas. And now the number's gone up from 10.5 to 11.5. The total going down is probably correct. You would think it's got the chance to be a little bit lower scoring now without Peterson on the floor, their best offensive player. You know how this works sometimes. Everyone just laying it with Duke because Peterson's out. And sometimes
it's a massive number.
It's a big number. I think Kansas with Peterson is a lot better team than last year. Without him, they'll miss him. But I wouldn't be late to the party taking Duke now. The current number, Kansas or nothing. It's going to be nothing. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not betting Kansas, but I'd lean that way right now. I would.
Kansas, too, beat Duke a lot, over the kind of the years. And usually the games are pretty good. And there's still question marks, I think, on both of these teams, obviously, from everyone out to in, even, with Peterson not playing. So, they had a State Bonaventure transfer. They got a couple good young freshmen for Kansas. What's his name? Tiller, I think.
Yep. Yeah,
right? Yeah. Yep. So, a lot of Dookie love. Shit. My money ain't on it. I'll tell you that much.
Not at this number. No, maybe they get blown out and lose by 15 or 20. And if they do, okay. But like I said, I wouldn't be taking Duke now, even with the absence of Peters. That's a good game to watch, though. They're both good.
Oh, yeah.
ESPN games. There's a reason Dan Shulman and Jay Billis are doing those games. They're good games at Madison Square Garden tonight. So Michigan State, Kentucky, and then Kansas and Duke back-to-back there at the Garden on ESPN. Couple more. Ole Miss, I think there's a good spot maybe to lay the wood with Ole Miss. I think they could maybe have their way with Austin Peay tonight there in that game. Winthrop, Arkansas over, kind of like that. These are smaller bets. These are not bets I liked as much as the first few that I mentioned. I laid it with Minnesota. I like Minnesota. Big coaching upgrade this year, in my opinion. And now they take on they look like they're back to being one of the worst teams again, Chicago State. So, laying the points with Minnesota. I've got no issues doing that. Like I said, I'm a huge Nico Medved guy. And this goes all the way back to when he was coaching at, for crying out loud, Drake years ago. That's how long ago I remember how watching this guy perform as a head coach. And, of course, all the years at Colorado State, he did a good job there. Great hire by Minnesota to bring him in. So, I laid it with Minnesota there against Chicago State. What else? Cornell. It's a big number, but I think they could just overwhelm Army a little bit. So the Big Red there laying 17 in that game, I think worth a look. I'd like to give you more analysis, guys, but I got to keep the voice preserved. So we're going to be brief with our thoughts here as far as these games are concerned. Grambling, ugly dog, but anytime I see San Diego laying 6.5 with Steve Lavin, a Torero's program that's been, going nowhere but down over the years, I'm interested. So, Grambling's not very good either, but it's just more so fading San Diego, laying 6.5. I'm okay with doing that. And then on the added board, Vermont is supposed to be good. Buffalo is not supposed to be good this year, not great. But Buffalo's played very well. And they're a slight home underdog against Vermont, and I took Buffalo. They're plus 2.5, still out there right now. I think they're worth a shot there. Maybe Buffalo's going to be better than we thought.
A little more defense, maybe?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. That's a big part of it. Look, they were one of the best teams in the MAC in basketball for several years. The last year or two, they've fallen off, no question. But don't forget, this was one of your perennial better teams in this conference. I mean, remember Nate Oates before he went to Alabama took this team to the frickin' NCAA tournament, Buffalo, and before that Bobby Hurley did, who of course is now at Arizona, or Arizona State, I should say. So, like I said, Buffalo was a really, really good program a few years ago. So maybe they're on the uptick. So I think there's some value on Buffalo there, home underdog against Vermont in that game. A couple more on the added board. New Hampshire, Providence over. It's weird to see it. Providence is playing way faster than they did last year. It's pretty crazy to see it. You don't think of Providence playing an up and down brand of basketball like this, but they sure have, and their totals have kind of been off. They just haven't adjusted enough to the much quicker tempo that Kim English's team is playing with. So I like the over there with New Hampshire and Providence. CMAC, is there anything else you wanted to mention? Leads?
I just had a couple on the ad. I thought this game was interesting. So short. I like this Radford team. South Carolina has some issues too, especially early on. I just thought this was a little bit low. This seems like a 15.5, and now we have 10s, 9.5. So it's something I did bet, but I looked at a bunch. Do you have anything there?
Yeah, that one's, I was interested in Radford, and then I saw 9.5, 10. I'm like, ooh, boy, I don't know if I'm getting the number I was hoping for in that game. But they have been capable of hanging around. Let's see. Nick Alvento, I like Troy this year. They've kind of had a rough couple games on this road trip. Kind of want to buy low on them, Troy, plus 16, but I really like San Diego State too, so I'm not rushing to take Troy. I lean Troy, but it's not a strong opinion. Longwood, Daryl Turner, I would lay it. I really would lay it with Longwood in that game. They're laying a big number. I think Maryland Eastern Shore is horrific. Has the potential to be one of the worst teams in all of. There's 360 plus college basketball Division I teams. Maryland Eastern Shore is like 350. That's how bad they are. They're one of the worst. I think Longwood could steamroll them. Kind of like last night, I took High Point. They were laying a big number against Canisius, and I said they're going to destroy Canisius. Just not very good this year, and wasn't even close. So, yeah, I think that's a lay it with Longwood. Stanford, I'm not as in love with laying it with them, but I really don't want much to do with their opponent there in that game either. So I ended up staying off that. Like Louisiana, I'm not taking them, but I didn't want to lay 21 with Stanford.
Yeah, there's a lot of those numbers out, in a lot of these games, big ones, and even on the added board. So just trying to pick the spots. Before we go and let you heal up here, it's somewhat of a smaller show. Let's just touch on. I'll hit my college football. We talked about these games yesterday. Yep. Check the videos. Everyone on Akron. I mean, I think that's the only look we talked about. That there's threes.
Yeah, but the thing is, I got 3.5. 3.5s are gone.
There you go.
So you're late to the party if you're taking Akron now. But I agree with the move. I think Akron could win that game. Honestly,
I think they can too. But when the whole world's on it, gives me slight pause. A lot of people here, whole world on it. We got into yesterday, Western Michigan. I can't do it. I can't buy him. Fuck it. This is Northern Illinois. I got the 7. We talked about the 6.5. I think they're too similar. We talk about these MAC teams playing on the road, these games, middle of the week. Everything's up for it. Northern Illinois, of course, had the few quarterbacks they've put in. They're not going to throw it a ton. But I think their defense, as good as Western Michigan's defense has been, I think Northern Illinois' defense can keep them in this football game. So you have it right here. I'm on Northern Illinois. I'll shoot it out. Here's my best bet, at least for the show.
It's a college football best bet.
Well, yeah, I'm on it. Like I bet this. These college basketball games are pretty big. If I had to go college basketball, I'd take Sac State. I got the 17.5 first half.
There you go.
We're looking there.
That's good.
There you go.
Football and basketball best bet. Nothing wrong with that.
Come on, we got to get
on Akron. I lean Northern Illinois too. I just worry about what happened with Penn State, Michigan State, where Michigan State, the defense hangs in and then they just get worn down because they can't move the football. And eventually Western Michigan wears them down, and it's a 6-point game and 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
Touchdown, Western Michigan. See you later. That's what I worry about. But
I want to see them do it here more on the road, Western Michigan. By the way, let's look at this just real quick. 1-3 on the road. Of course, what was one of those? At UMass, 21-3. They lose Miami, Ohio, 26-17. Of course, they don't score anything early in the year against Illinois. They just, when I see these MAC teams like this, then they're too similar. Even though Western Michigan's better, everyone loves Western Michigan, right? They're winning. Look at them. They're 7-3 ATS. Come on. What could go wrong? Give me the fucking dog here. I got to go the other way.
They're winning. They're winning.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, that's been
Santana.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's a good song actually from the 80s. We're old enough to remember it, but there we go. Good stuff.
Different Santana era there in
That
the 80s
was,
with the singer. Yeah.
Yeah. We kind of went into the new age stuff. You're right. It wasn't like the Black Magic Woman days.
No, definitely
with the guitar solos from early in the 70s. And he went back to the rock guitar solos later when he did that Maria and with Rob Thomas way back. Resurgence in the late 90s for him. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Good stuff. Little music, too, with your college basketball. Nothing wrong.
Every once in a while, I get a little music trivia here. Hey, looks.
Good stuff. Great stuff. All right, we're going to wrap this up because I got a bet cast in 90 minutes. Ice Guys, check it out. And everybody get on the bet cast. The more people are on the bet cast tonight, the less I have to talk. And I really do appreciate that. So make sure you join us.
Yeah, get on
here tonight. Yeah, on the Ice Guys live bet cast. We got 8 NHL games, live betting throughout the night. Always good. Great company. So make sure you check that out. Ice Guys live bet cast, 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Very much, even in my condition with the cough and the sore throat, very much looking forward to it for sure. Shout out to everyone in the chat: Daryl Turner, F. Donahue, Nick Elvento, DJ Stogstill, Justin McKelvey, Graham Yankee. Thanks you guys for joining us. CMAC, your best bets. You already mentioned it. Northern Illinois +7, college football. Sacramento State +17.5.
+17.5.
UCLA
first half.
Basketball.
Take it. I'm on Northern Illinois. Nobody wants them. I'll take them. Give me the opposite way. All the Western Michigan love.
Good stuff.
Bye-bye.
All right. For me, I'm going to go in that in-state rivalry game. Georgia Southern +11 against Georgia Tech. I think we got a competitive game. Does concern me that Georgia Tech turns it over. I think Georgia Southern keeps that game competitive. Georgia Southern +11 against Georgia Tech for my best bet here for tonight in college basketball. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Thanks for joining.
Hit the like button.
Tomorrow,
Appreciate
members
it.
only. Make sure you become a channel member to the Hitting the Books YouTube channel, because tomorrow, Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, it will be a members only edition of the Hitting the Books show. So tomorrow, make sure
a little bit of everything too. We'll touch on, and mostly college basketball, college football game. We could touch on NBA and NHL and Fridays.
That's
on our Fridays. NFL
really be part of, because we get you ready for NFL on the weekend too. Yep.
Yes. So I love the Friday show.
Yeah. Friday show.
Let's get it.
Great way to start.
Shout out to everyone.
Shout out to everybody. We can't thank you enough. Thank you to those that are members. And like I said, if you're a member, make sure you join us tomorrow and Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern, for our members-only editions of the Hitting the Book show. For Connor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Tuesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we will be back tomorrow, Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, for a members-only edition of the Hitting the Book show. Until then, class dismissed.
Peace.